Ladies and gentlemen, it is I, your protector of the realm, your steward of Gondor, your genius billionaire playboy, basic YouTuber philanthropist, SuperCliff. And please, if you like what you see / hear, then hit that like and subscribe button, for every little bit helps in this YouTube world. And today we'll be covering Thor, issue number 9, the first part to this newly anticipated 6-issue arc, called Prey, written by Donny Cates and drawn by Nick Klein. And our story begins with some background regarding the origins / purpose of Donald Blake. For you see folks, Odin wanted to teach his son Thor humility. Therefore, the Allfather created a host, a construct of sorts, named Dr. Donald Blake. As Blake, Thor was able to learn the value of mercy and the fertility of those he protects. And whenever trouble ensues, the good doctor would raise his cane and slam it down against the ground to transform into the Mighty Thor. But here's the question, folks. When Thor is here, where does Donald Blake go? Well, it turns out that when Blake is sent in reserve, Blake hangs out in a make-believe Mr. Rogers type-esque neighborhood, a fake reality of Odin's making. And when he is summoned back to the real world, Blake possesses no memory of the days, months, or years that have passed. Therefore, as I'm going to borrow some words from Biggie Small, it was all a dream. Back in the present, we discover that Thor is retelling the story of Donald Blake to his brother Loki in Asgard's throne room. And as Loki states, as the newly advertised god of stories, the story of Donald Blake sucks. And he wonders if there is a point to all of this, in which case Thor responds, informing Loki that he's bringing him back, but only for a weekend. Check it, because ever since the beginning of the series, Thor sort of hates being king. However, he's not a total asshole to the point where he would just ditch his people. Rather, Thor just needs a couple of days off to himself in order to decompress. And because of this, Thor requires Loki's help. More specifically, he needs Loki to lie for him, as Thor explains that he will tell his people that he's gone to Jotunheim and will need to conduct certain political meetings with the Frost Giant King, aka Loki. But Loki reminds Thor that he is no longer the trickster. No longer is he the god of lies or mischief, for Loki is the god of stories and myths. And goddammit, Thor, your brother Loki's trying to turn a new leaf here, bro. Come on. Though Loki has denounced himself as the god of lies, he can still smell a lie across the stars, as Loki pushes Thor to come forward with further details. And though Thor responds, telling his brother that he has no idea as to what he's talking about, Loki, having enough of Thor's bullshit, walks over to Mjolnir and chucks it at Thor, since Loki is aware of Thor's hammer predicament ever since issue 6. It's at this point where Loki agrees to help Thor. Loki tells Thor that when Donald Blake swaps places, Loki will babysit the boring doctor, while Thor, in the meantime, will go to the Elder Sleep in order to communicate with the spirits of the old dead kings. Because, since anyone can now pick up Mjolnir, it's apparent that the ancient Asgardian magics are coming apart and that someone is destroying destiny. Spooky! And it's with that where Thor swaps places with Donald Blake. And as Thor travels throughout the magical pathways, Thor comes across the elder spirits of the ancient kings, except their eyes are turned away from Thor. Though not in anger or in disappointment, but due to dread, shame, and guilt. Because when Thor arrives in Donald Blake's little kingdom of Happyland, it's actually a hellhole, as though Satan himself had taken a fiery dump all throughout. Oh, and hey look, there's the dead corpse of the Midgard serpent. Have fun, Thor. Elsewhere, back in Asgard's throne room, Dr. Donald Blake has arrived, except Donald looks terrifying. And oh my Lanta, does he look hostile. Loki tries to conjure up some magic to take down Blake, but surprisingly, Blake has learned some moves whilst being stuck all this time. And once Blake finishes kicking Loki's ass, Blake informs Loki that he in fact isn't Dr. Donald Blake. And it's here where the villain proclaims that he will never become a refuge to a god again. And boom, this evil entity snaps the cane of Donald Blake, thereby breaking the one thing that could be used to bring back Thor and save Asgard. Thor issue number 9 was a really neat take on the whole Donald Blake persona, answering the idea of where Donald Blake goes when Thor takes over. It's exploring concepts such as that, which I personally think is the reason as to why Donny Cates keeps hitting gold among his Marvel-related projects. He's furthering already established lore without giving the impression that he's trying to create something new simply because he's the writer and therefore he can. I'm really digging the new look of Donald Blake Thor, especially his whole "I've been trapped in an asylum forever" look. And with Nick Klein's art, it's able to achieve that creepy edge look, which works with the whole psychotic atmosphere. So yeah, I'm pumped to see how Thor deals with being trapped in Donald Blake's domain. Thor issue number 9 gets an 8.5 out of 10. Giggity goo.